Carrying the GFWC flag, Katie Mordell, GFWC Director-Elect of Junior Clubs. GFWC International President, Marion St. Clair. GFWC President-Elect, Deborah Strahanowski. GFWC First Vice President, Sue Ellen Brazil. GFWC Second Vice President, Wendy Carricker. GFWC Secretary, Jolie Frankfurt. GFWC Treasurer, Mary Beth Williams. GFWC Director of Junior Clubs, Christina Higbee. GFWC Parliamentarian, Ida Dorvig. It is my pleasure to also present to you the GFWC International past presidents who are with us today. Carlene A. Garner, 2010 to 2012. Babs J. Condon, 2014-2016. Sheila E. Shea, 2016-2018. Mary Ellen Brock, 2018-2020. You may now be seated. And now the parade of GFWC regions and state federations in attendance. Southern Region, Cynthia K. Geis, Region President, accompanied by GFWC South Carolina, home state of the GFWC International President, represented by Kristen Fields, GFWC South Carolina President, and Shelley Pugh, South Carolina Director of Junior Clubs. GFWC Alabama, home state of the GFWC First Vice President, represented by Jan Greer, GFWC Alabama President-Elect, and Becky Van Zant, Alabama First Vice President. GFWC Florida, home state of the GFWC Secretary, represented by Diane Forrester, GFWC Florida President, and Candace Postel, Florida Director of Junior Clubs. GFWC Georgia, home state of the GFWC Parliamentarian, represented by Shelby Holland, GFWC Georgia President, and Kim Sekulow, Georgia President-Elect. GFWC Mississippi, represented by Sherry Reed, GFWC Mississippi President, and Teresa Button, Mississippi President-Elect. Great Lakes Region, Patricia Heitman, Region President, accompanied by GFWC Illinois, home state of the GFWC President-elect, represented by Teresa Sandridge Shiplet, GFWC Illinois President, and Patty Kushar, Illinois President, Junior Director-elect. Junior Director of Junior Clubs. I'm going to get it right. GFWC Wisconsin, home state of the GFWC Director of Junior Clubs, represented by Abby Jo Lawrence, GFWC Wisconsin President, and Sandy Dickman, Wisconsin President-elect. GFWC Indiana, represented by Kimberly Meyer, GFWC Indiana President, and Marianne McCombs, Indiana President-elect. GFWC Michigan, represented by Ruth Ann Northland, GFWC Michigan President, and Kathy Lewis, Michigan President-elect. GFWC Ohio, represented by Margene Sizemore, GFWC Ohio President, and Yvonne Ford, Ohio President-elect. Southeastern Region, Peggy Barnes, Region President, accompanied by GFWC North Carolina, home state of the GFWC Second Vice President, represented by Crystal S. O'Neill, GFWC North Carolina President, and Angela Moss, North Carolina Director of Junior Clubs. GFWC District of Columbia, represented by Jessica Renaud, GFWC Club President, and Rachel Norman, Club Secretary. GFWC Kentucky, represented by Teresa Smith, GFWC Kentucky President, and Kaylin Turner, GFWC Kentucky 2022-2024 Director of Junior Clubs. GFWC Maryland, represented by Karen Marie Wasick, GFWC Maryland President, and Andrea Lilly, Maryland Director of Junior Clubs. GFWC Tennessee, represented by Vicki Pichette, GFWC Tennessee President, and Sirocco Cooper, Tennessee Director of Junior Clubs. GFWC Virginia, represented by Dale Fisher, GFWC Virginia President, and Jenny Heidengarten, Virginia Director of Junior Clubs. GFWC West Virginia, represented by Helen Moran, GFWC West Virginia President, and Dusty Smith, West Virginia Director of Junior Clubs. Western States Region, Katie Lemire, Region President, accompanied by GFWC Colorado, home state of the GFWC Treasurer, represented by Deb Greer, GFWC Colorado President, and Lori Hawley, Colorado President-elect. GFWC Alaska, represented by Kiko Torrenson, GFWC Alaska President-elect, and Patrice Gitter, Alaska Treasurer. GFWC California, represented by Pam Ament, GFWC California President, and Barbara Briley Beard, California President-elect. GFWC Idaho, represented by Cindy Bessemer, GFWC Idaho President-elect, and Jessica Velasquez, Idaho Treasurer. GFWC Montana, represented by Florence Deedy, GFWC Montana President, and Lynn Foreman, Montana President-elect. GFWC Nevada, represented by Sherry Lee Williams DeWitt, GFWC Nevada President, and Connie Freeman, Nevada past State President. GFWC Oregon, represented by Karen Lavoie, GFWC Oregon President, and Wendy Wheeler Jacobs, Oregon President-elect. GFWC Utah, represented by Linda Kawana, GFWC Utah President, and Kathy Bessinger, Utah President-elect. GFWC Washington, represented by Leela Taylor, GFWC Washington State President, and Susan Tyler, Washington President-elect. GFWC Wyoming, represented by Nancy Kaufman, GFWC Wyoming State President, and Trish Peoples, Wyoming President-elect. Middle Atlantic Region, Sandra K. Roberts, Region President, accompanied by GFWC Delaware, represented by Rita Hollida, GFWC Delaware President, and Trish Rodriguez, GFWC Delaware President-elect. GFWC New Jersey, represented by Jan Henson, GFWC New Jersey President, and Jill McDonald, 2022 Middle Atlantic Region Jenny Award winner. GFWC New York, represented by Linda Kirschling, GFWC New York President, and Vicky Impaulina, GFWC New York 2022 Leeds graduate. GFWC Pennsylvania, represented by Sandy Hauenstein, GFWC Pennsylvania President, and Donna Malone, Pennsylvania, First Vice President. Mississippi Valley Region, Sabre Clark, Region President, accompanied by GFWC Iowa, represented by Betty Kubacki, GFWC Iowa President, and Nancy Tabor, Iowa President-elect. GFWC Kansas, represented by Jan Moore, GFWC Kansas President, and Cindy Bessemer, Kansas President-elect. GFWC Minnesota, represented by Janelle Jorgensen Johnson, GFWC Minnesota President, and Linda Blue, Minnesota President-elect. GFWC Missouri, represented by Judy Gustafson, GFWC Missouri President, and Amy Boone, Missouri President-elect. GFWC Nebraska, represented by Karen Crandall, GFWC Nebraska President-elect, and Kathy Huggins, Nebraska Director of Junior Clubs. And GFWC South Dakota, represented by Liz Lynch, GFWC South Dakota President, and Linda Dodds, South Dakota past State President. New England Region, Joanne Calnan, Region President, accompanied by GFWC Connecticut, represented by Debbie Forey, GFWC Connecticut President, and Kathy DeBarra, Connecticut President-elect. GFWC Maine, represented by Carol Jarvis, GFWC Maine President, and Maureen Parvinko, Maine President-elect. GFWC Massachusetts, represented by Donna Shibley, GFWC Massachusetts President, and Katie Roby, Massachusetts Director of Junior Clubs. GFWC New Hampshire, represented by Jenny O'Sullivan, GFWC New Hampshire President, and Beth Roth, New Hampshire President-elect. GFWC Rhode Island, represented by Deborah Capriano, GFWC Rhode Island President, and Paula Andrews, Rhode Island President-elect. GFWC Vermont, represented by Beverly Palmerand, GFWC Vermont President. And now we want to welcome our host region, South Central Region, Kathy Ryan, Region President, accompanied by GFWC Arizona, represented by Luann Davis, GFWC Arizona President, and Celine Post, Arizona First Vice President. GFWC Arkansas, represented by Jane Jackson, GFWC Arkansas President-elect, and Marianne Maynard, Arkansas Counselor. GFWC Louisiana, represented by Becky Akins, GFWC Louisiana President, and Suzanne Simmons, Louisiana Director of Junior Clubs. GFWC New Mexico, represented by Ingeborg Peter, GFWC New Mexico President, and Valerie Reddington, New Mexico President-elect. GFWC Oklahoma, represented by Carol Cran, GFWC Oklahoma President, and Patty Burkhead, Oklahoma President-elect. GFWC Texas, represented by Cindy Simmons, GFWC Texas President, and Billy Williams, Texas President-elect. And now it is my extreme honor to present the GFWC International Club in attendance. GFWC Women's Club of Aruba, represented by Benita Escarar, Norma Brickenberg Spellin, and Raquel Millengros Posner. Representing our GFWC Boosters Club, Greg Geis. And I apologize, you need to introduce yourself. I did not have your name. Chris. Thank you, Chris.
From Alaska.
Oh, from Alaska. Thank you, delegates. Madam President, this concludes the ceremony. Region, state, and club representatives, please take your seats.